Hi, my name is Jane Vogel. I'm a trustee here in Scio Township, and this short video is going to describe the construction of phase 3 of the Zeeb Road pathway, which is just really exciting. And the OHM team is here today to walk you through that construction plan beginning in early June. What I want to do really briefly is just set the context. Really on behalf of our supervisor, Will Hathaway, the Township Board, and I also want to recognize the great community volunteers in our Transportation Alternative Planning Commission. So as many of you know, in August of 2020, the Parking Pathways millage was passed by over 70% of voters. What's important to recognize is all of our work on parks and pathways builds on the legacy in Scio Township of our protection of open space. We have over 1,700 acres in preservation, 6 township-owned preserves that are being opened up for our residents with beautiful walking trails. And the pathways are meant to connect our residents to those wonderful preserves, to the border-to-border that's right at Zeeb Road and Huron River Drive, and all the wonderful recreation opportunities. So let me just quickly describe the Zeeb Road pathway is the backbone of the pathway system. Phase 1 and 2 have been complete for a number of years. Phase 3, which will be constructed this summer, goes from where the pathway ends today to about 1,200 feet north of Miller Road. Okay. Phase 4 will take the pathway from that point all the way to Peters Road. And we're working on funding sources. Representative Lozinski is working with us. It's very exciting because that's an expensive section of this pathway. So phase 4, hopefully in summer of 22, will get us to Peters Road. The engineering work by OHM is already underway for that segment. The 5th segment takes us to the river, across the river, up through the parking lot that's there, wonderful partners, and across the railroad tracks to join with border to border, which will be at those railroad tracks heading toward the metro parks. All of that work, the early permitting is underway and early funding sources. Our commitment is to leverage the park and pathway millage with outside dollars, and all of that work is underway. So let me introduce Matt Burns, who's going to walk you through the specific construction plan for phase 3. Thanks so much. Matt?
Okay, let me see if I can share this. All right, hopefully everybody can see that. My name is Matt Byrne. I'm with OHM Advisors. I'm the design engineer for this project, part of an overall team of designers. And right now I'm going to go through the Zeeb Road Phase 3 pathway design.
Matt, I'm not
so it consists of about, okay. Let me try that again. Oops. Good call.
There you go. Thanks so much.
How about now?
Perfect.
Okay. So as I was saying, this project consists of about 0.37 miles of asphalt pathway, and that includes about 650 feet of retaining wall and some boardwalk thrown in the mix as well. There's also traffic signal improvements at the Dexter Ann Arbor Zeeb intersection, as well as pavement markings. So an agenda for this presentation, we're going to go through the project background and introduce it a little bit, go through the scope of work, talk about project schedule, what kind of traffic control elements are there, what the design entails, and then we'll answer any questions you guys might have as well. So basis of the project, right now it's fairly open. It's a really undeveloped, partially vegetated right away. There's nothing there. And we're looking to basically fill it in and connect the dots, as Jane was saying, and connect the 2 pathways. Ultimate connection here is the border-to-border trail. Right now, it's going to be at the corner of Zeeb and Huron River Drive, and we're going to connect there in the next couple phases. So what's been done currently is just the clearing work. You've probably seen it if you've driven by on Zeeb. There's a bunch of clearing done, and there's a good corridor pretty much waiting to be constructed. So for a project overview, the project will include new ADA compliant sidewalk ramps, new push button traffic signals and crosswalks at the Dexter Ann Arbor Zeeb intersection. They'll have a paved shoulder, which would be 4 foot wide, and then a curb and gutter and a fairly wide pathway with retaining wall. And that cross section would be between Dexter Ann Arbor and Miller. Then once we get north of that, it transitions to a path at grade pathway, where you just basically just plop the path down on existing grade, and there's minimal other design elements to it. As far as schedule goes, we are starting early June, and the targeted completion date is September 2021, so this year. So it'll be about 3.5 months if everything goes according to schedule. Obviously, COVID might change some of those dates, but we anticipate that it'll be 3.5 months. We've been in COVID times for a while now, so we know at least a little bit better what to expect compared to last year. For traffic control, we don't anticipate a whole lot. There's going to be a shoulder closure on Zeeb Road, so it'd be down to 1 lane. There might be some flagging control. Other than that, there will be short-term driveway closures, and we'll be in close contact. Both OHM, the township, and the contractor will be in close contact with residents to make sure that everything's coordinated on that front, so that we can minimize the amount of time that we're impacting residents. And again, those will be notified in advance as well, so we'll give people plenty of time to plan for those closures. So here's a representation of what the pathway would look like north of Miller. Something that I would call a pathway at grade. So you're just kind of plopping the pathway down, and it's just going to be a grass shoulder on one side, about 20 foot wide, and then a 10 foot wide pathway on the right of that. And that would be, again, from Miller Road onward. And then this is kind of a visual representation of what it would look like at the Dexter Ann Arbor Zeeb intersection. So we've got a sidewalk, ADA sidewalk ramps on both sides here. And then you can see that there's a paved shoulder on the east side of Zeeb with a retaining wall. And it'll be that cross section pretty much from Dexter Ann Arbor to Miller. And then it'll transition back to the path at grade. COVID-19 safety measures. Right now we're doing everything that we can to be compliant with governor's executive orders. Ultimately, our goal is to maintain health and safety for all the people involved in construction. So that includes, residents, contractors, and all the inspectors that are going to be out there. We're going to be doing daily self-checks for everyone that's coming to and from the site. And we'll obviously be abiding by the social distancing regulations that are in place right now. And we'll, monitor the pandemic situation and follow those rules as they change. Hopefully they don't. So this slide's just giving the contact information for everybody who's involved from the OHM, township side, contractor side. Gordon Stenger is going to be the contractor superintendent on site. He can answer any of the construction questions. Steve Wygoski is the utilities director for the township. His number is there. Sally Boss is on this call as well. She's the client rep for the township. And Chris Donikowski is the construction manager who's going to be overlooking the project. And my number's down there for the design engineer. So at this point, I'd open it up to any questions.
Matt, this is Matt Parks, and hi everybody. Just so everyone knows, and this is an exciting project, as Jane mentioned, and Matt did a good job laying it out. But one of the key things that we're excited about is LJ Construction They were involved in the previous 2 phases, and they delivered. The project came in on time, under budget, and we expect the same type of effort from them on this job, to be honest. We listed their contact information there, but really everything as far as field specific stuff or any items on your in front of your residence, I would encourage you to call Chris Donikowski. He's the OHM field rep. He'll be on site daily. We'll have an on-site inspector that reports directly to him. And again, I'll reiterate his phone number for you. This would be the primary person for day-to-day activities, and that's 734-891-2447. That's Chris Donikowski. If you have questions about global pathway networks, the stuff that Jane was talking about funding and whatnot, I would encourage you to reach out to Jane or anybody on the TAP committee at the township. But we're here to help communication, to help make it safe, a safe project. We're in close contact with the Washtenaw County Road Commission. They are not listed here, but they are the entity in which we are working in their right of way. So we're there by permit, and they will be involved as well. So just wanted to throw that out there as far as questions go from the public. If you're watching this video, again, reach out. Matt displayed the questions, comments, and contact slide. Again, there's your contacts. Steve or Jane can be contacted through the township.
Sure. And to build on what Matt is saying, this video is really created for all of the Zeeb Road neighbors on both the east and west side of Zeeb. And you will have gotten a letter from the township with these contact numbers also. And I was remiss in a really important recognition and thank you, and that is to the Zeeb Road neighbors. You have been fantastic with the easements, the enthusiasm, the flexibility on this pathway routing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you for being such great partners in moving this pathway forward. It's just the beginning, and we've got great momentum, and you are a big part of that success. Thanks so much. And I just want to also recognize OHM is a great partner for this township. They are an excellent engineering firm and a really key partner in moving these pathways forward. So thank you to Matt and Sally and the whole team.